Welcome to another episode of eBay Scavengers. This is episode number 49 on ebayscavengers.com. This is Ryan. I'm here with my partner, Jay.
I'm your partner.
Yes, you are. So we are talking about what's going on in our store this week, etc.
Right. And so we had one of those weeks that I think is probably common for anyone that's been on eBay for a while. It was really, really slow for most of the week, for like the first 5 days. It almost felt like we didn't even have an eBay store anymore. At best, we'd be selling, 2 to 3 things a day, which is not a lot for us.
Yeah, and Jay always makes a joke. Ryan, did you turn eBay off?
Yeah, and and that's when eBay makes you feel helpless, because those are times where there's literally nothing you can do. The only thing we do is we just list,
Yeah.
We just have faith in the future that other people are going to buy at one point,
And they do, because...
And that's what happened. So, and then, we suddenly hit Friday, and we made, I think, $1,800 in one day.
Like, think about that. $1,800 in one day after a super slow week. Like,
Right.
That's a crazy...
And that's
Crazy.
mainly because we sold some really big items.
The big items that we sold were an old-fashioned sewing machine that I've had up. Someone finally gave us a good offer.
We sold it for $950.
$950. She's coming down from the Northeast. She's going to drive about 9 hours to get to us.
Yeah, and this is our continuing experiment with selling furniture on eBay, doing a local pickup, because we can find this furniture at auctions. People don't want to buy it because they don't have room in their house and it's too heavy, so we get it at a good deal, and we're finding that people are willing to buy it on eBay. And like this, a lady's going to drive 18-hour round trip,
right,
to
which
pick
is a
this
lot.
thing up.
But
So-
it's special enough to her that
Right.
it's worth it.
Right. The only problem is that it becomes more like a Craigslist transaction, where once she bought it, she doesn't pay. Then we call her on the phone, and then we set up a time to meet, and then she's going to pay in cash after she sees it. So it's a little more, hand-holding than eBay is. But
Right. But it reaches, the thing about it that's different than Craigslist, which is good for us, is it really reaches a much broader audience of someone, rather than looking at our local Craigslist. So that's been really good for us.
Right. And then we sold another one of our sinks. This is one of our nice Kohler sinks. We bought 16 of them from like this kind of a fire sale outlet. We bought 16 of them for $200. And at first we were like, this is going to be a little bit weird.
I mean, honestly, for $200, that's pretty low risk. I mean, we were willing to take the risk to just see what happened, and it's paid off.
Right. And so now as we're selling these sinks between $200 and $400 each.
Right.
And so this is one of those examples of being a scavenger, where if you find a good deal and you jump at it, but then you have to haul all these things, we've had to store them, and then it's going to take us 10 months to probably sell them all. So.
And you have to be willing to pack them.
Right. And
that's the other thing.
Right.
And the good thing is I am willing to pack them. For a $300 sink, I will pack that sink.
Right. But, and this is the craziest thing about living in America, is that there's so much waste. These are sinks, these beautiful
designer
fancy
sinks,
Kohler sinks that basically got shipped back to the factory because the boxes were too kind of scarred up. There's
That's
nothing
it. There's
wrong
nothing
with the
wrong
sink.
with them.
Right.
It comes with the manual. It comes with the hardware.
And then Kohler couldn't sell them retail, and they don't want to sell them whatever wholesale, so they just dumped them on this one company, and we bought them from them.
So we've been,
This is the story of America and why you can have a living scavenging here. And then the other big thing we sold a really fancy pair of Lineman boots for $450.
So lineman boots are basically like those guys who go up telephone poles, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so these boots are very specialized. They have special metal plates in them. So, they sell brand new for over $400.
And the lesson from this was, I was just scavenging one day in some basement of a thrift shop on a Tuesday, and I bought them for $10 because they looked nice, and I had no idea they would sell so well. But I couldn't have done it if I didn't have the time to scavenge, and I probably went to 10 other places and didn't find anything. So.
Right, so that was a good random find.
Right.
And yeah, they sold for over $400, which is, and so that all happened within a span of 24 hours. So we were like, oh my God.
And plus then a weekend, I guess it was after Labor Day, we just started to sell a bunch of other things. You know, most of the money we make are on $30 and it's $40 items. It's just these bigger items is that really kind of kicks it into high gear.
Yeah, it's like you can make your whole day's limit on one item.
And that's something I think we've learned as eBayers is that we started out small. We're selling things for $10, and then we would do $20, and then we started with $30 and $40 items, and now we're starting to like have the eye and be able to take the chance on things that will sell for more. And you have to list those things if you want people to buy them.
You have to list it if you want it to be for sale. It can't just be sitting in your house.
I know, but I even remember when we started eBay, I just never thought you could put $500 on something and someone
would actually buy it.
I
Depends on what it is.
I just thought that we were just doing like a shitty yard sale, and we were going to make $5 and $10 here and there. And what I've learned is like if you put quality stuff up, people will buy it.
Yeah, if you find that stuff, you're looking for that stuff.
So the other thing this week is, we went on our county had a yard crawl. I don't know if people have those in their areas.
Yeah, so basically a yard crawl is if there's a main road that kind of goes through your town or your county, it's like all individuals and churches and businesses will like have yard sales throughout a whole road.
Right.
There's one in August called the whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's another yard crawl, and it might be more of a rural thing.
And it goes for miles and miles.
Right. But basically, it's fun, but it's super inefficient because you're having to drive 2 blocks, park, get out.
See a junky yard sale that has nothing but baby clothes.
Get back and drive. So then you start doing this thing where you start to try and look from the road and see if there's too many baby clothes, you just keep going. And
we did find some cool stuff, though. Yep. I found a few pairs of nice shoes.
Yeah, I found a guy had all the trucker hats that he'd gathered throughout his whole life. He sold them all in one lot. And I didn't buy all of them because I want them all, but I bought like 40 hats for $6.
$6.
And really awesome,
that was amazing.
Vintage Peterbilt, Ford, all the trucker hats. It was really
just
awesome.
Old vintage patches that are on the hats. Some of the hats are in such bad shape, I'm actually going to take the patches off and sell those by themselves because they're so cool.
And then the other thing about scavenging is we go to this flea market that we really like. And when we say flea market, we don't mean like one of those antique flea markets where it's really fancy or
the kind where everything's made in China and just...
Yeah, I mean, these are the flea markets where guys pull up with their cars and open up the back of their trunks or their vans, and they're selling stuff that they've gotten in auctions or
they're scavengers too.
Yeah, they're scavengers too, and they're just trying to, and they live in a cash economy, so they aren't selling things for really expensive, and we love it because
we find great stuff.
It's super efficient because you can go and shop at 200 people's
in one
tables.
fell swoop. Yeah.
So I met this guy who was selling a military surplus, and
that's something we deal with. Is we like to buy military surplus,
and he had really awesome stuff like the wool sweaters and the cool hats.
Yeah,
and he had them in quantity.
Bags.
And he was selling them really cheap, like sweaters for $2 and $3.
Yeah,
for like
really cheap.
Brand new
wool military. Oh, the best.
So I asked him if he had more of them, and we actually went today to his store, and he had 2 huge shipping containers full of junk of just...
Well, and it wasn't so much that it was junk. It's just that it was so... Everything's thrown in trash bags. It's just everywhere. Totally, he has no idea what's in there.
So he was a really nice guy.
Yeah,
he was willing to deal, and we spent 2 hours picking through his stuff, and we bought $300 worth of gear, and it was 5 huge
bags,
construction trash bags full of stuff. And the great thing is, the reason why we enjoy it is because it's all in quantity. So we only have to take pictures of one item, and then we can just say quantity 15.
Right.
And we're buying things for between $1 and $5, and we'll sell them for $30 to $75.
Yeah, that's the beauty of military surplus. Whether you buy it from an auction liquidation or from dudes like this, where If you get, 12, 15 of something, and it's something quality that people want, you just say quantity 15.
And that's the other thing. He's buying this stuff and selling it to the redneck hunters in our area.
Right.
So people who are going to put on the camo for actually hunting.
Yeah.
And we're thinking of it as we're buying cool bags and backpacks and sweaters that we think hipsters in Brooklyn are going to pay for.
Like I'm buying like these old they're like ammo bags, but they look like purses.
Right.
So I'm like, these are awesome. Like college kid, that's what I had in college was like a little like ammo bag.
Or these
purse.
like really cool map cases.
Right.
That are kind of a hard, soft shell that would be perfect for like an iPad.
An iPad. They're and they look like very, I mean, they are European because they're from like Germany and Czech Republic and stuff. But here's the kicker of the story, right? So after we were going to go to the military surplus, I needed a twin mattress for a guest bed that we have in our house. And lo and behold, at the military surplus place, in one of the big storage rooms, there's a twin size mattress. And I'm like, how much do you want for that mattress? I want that mattress. And he gave it to us for free.
Yep. He was glad to
It's like $100 mattress. I was like, please, it's used, but it's what I needed. So scavenging.
Yeah, so the other thing is Mikey this week wrote to our group about his printer broke. And I guess I've never really thought about this. If you're a person that ships every day, it totally would make sense. You need to have two printers because his printer broke, so he had to like go to his neighbor and try and print, and then he had to go to the post office where things were costing him so much more because of the discount.
Right. So that's our tip for the week. Our like pro tip for the week is, okay, you might have whatever kind of printer you have, that's good. If something goes wrong with that, you are dead in the water because you have to print your labels if you want to keep up with eBay's, 1-day shipping, if that's what you're doing. So always have a backup printer. I found I use a Brother laser printer. That's what Mikey uses too. Love it. And I actually found an extra one at a thrift store, and I repaired it because it was broken.
And they're actually cheap if you watch it's for them online. And you could buy an extra its printer for $30 or $40.
And yeah, exactly. Like even if you got like an extra inkjet just to hold you, for a couple days, do it.
And we're gonna link to our favorite one on this blog post.
The Brother laser printer is awesome
because it's prints forever and it's really easy and cheap to refill.
Yeah, so we love it. So that is our tip.
And so I think its last thing is, when we talk about scavenging, we're always talking about eBay. But I just do want to stress, though, when we say scavenging, we mean scavenging in all parts of our lives. Like this week, it's fall, and we've been cutting wood,
right?
Because we heat our home with a wood stove. Our home is small enough, and it has enough insulation where a wood stove blows us out. And what we do is during the year, we see people cut down trees, and they're trying to get rid of those big chunks of wood, and I just pull up in my truck and we throw it in the back, and it's free, and we make a big pile of logs in our backyard, and then once a year we borrow a friend's wood splitter and we split the wood, and that gives us wood for all a season long and enough for next year too.
Yep. Yeah, so that's our scavenger mentality. And we've talked about this before, but because we have more time, because we are, doing eBay and scavenging for eBay, we will pull over to the side of the road and take 20 minutes and grab a bunch of wood, because we have that time. Right.
I mean, it's kind of like this, it's self-generating prophecy or whatever, where eBay gives us time, and that time gives us more time to scavenge, and then that saves us more money, like heating our home with free wood rather than paying for gas or whatever, and then we have more time, and it's
good.
That's really what the point is.
Scavenger lifestyle.
Seriously.
Yep.
But I think all of this is good, kind of leading up to our next podcast where we're going to talk about, people have asking about accounting. Once eBay stops becoming a hobby for you, where you're just making kind of like some extra change and you start to make some serious cash, once you hit that $20,000 a year PayPal mark, PayPal starts telling the IRS how much money that you're going to make, and then you have to pay taxes on that.
So we're going to talk about how we do our accounting and how we kind of do our expenses.
It's all about expenses.
Expenses.
Yep.
You want to deduct your expenses. So
Yep.
that's what we're talking about in the next podcast. Come to the blog, leave a comment, talk to us, ebayscavengers.com.
And we're also now on Stitcher, so it's a podcast app. A lot of people listen to podcasts on that.
Yep,
so.
you can find us on Stitcher, and you can subscribe to us there.
Cool.
Bye.